in Chinese Taipei, in Singapore, in Sri Lanka, in Hungary, and also one in Thai, Mahapanya Vityalai in Hajai Songkhla. This is we call affiliated institutes. So for this room, I think not only international students, also I think Thai, and also some alumni who have already registered themselves to come here. If any one of you would like to express something before the program or event get started, you can greet each other and to talk. Achila, Achila, are you here? Achila, Ajahn Satapon. Please talk something to Ajahn Satapon. I have seen one assistant professor Akarapon near my home, who is the expert in English, the dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities of Buriram, Ratchapat Buriram University. Ajahn Akarapon is here. Ajahn Akarapon. I have seen Ajahn Chayanon, Assistant Professor, Dr. Chayanon Kuntanbut from Ratchamongkon, Technology Ratchamongkon. Anyone who would like to talk something before the program gets started, you can talk. Ashira. Yeah, Ajahn, please.
Sorry for late reply.
Yeah, please. As alumni and your Bangladesh, how do you feel today?
As a MCU alumni of a Nepalese student.
Yeah, how do you feel today?
I feel very privileged and honored that I graduated from this university, which is, let's say, one of the oldest universities in Thailand, because it's today is the day that commemorates 134th year of MCU, which is a very privileged and honorable thing for me to be here, and also my other friends who graduated from this university. Though we cannot find more Nepalese student nowadays in MCU, as an MCU alumni, and also working as one of the staffs of MCU, it's a very privilege and honor for me to be here and, let's say, to graduate from this university, and also to get an opportunity to work here as well at Mitapan.
Okay, according to the name list that I got from the Office of Registration and Evaluation, there are 58 Bangladeshi students. So have you contact with them, Ashira?
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm from Nepal, Ajahn.
Oh, sorry, Nepal. Oh, sorry, Nepal.
I think we still have
21 Nepali.
Yes, so, I think we still have our juniors who are still completing their bachelor's degree there. Yes.
Okay, 21 students, Nepali students, 21. Okay. You have contact with them, huh?
Only some, not all.
I see. So, I think 21 students are studying at the headquarters or in other campus also.
We still have other students who are studying in like in Korat campus, in Chiang Mai campus. If I'm not wrong. Yes, these two campuses, and also in main campus as well.
Because this year, you see the number of foreign students, 1,195 students from 26 countries, from Australia, 58 from Bangladesh, 9 from Bhutan, 77 from Cambodia, 1 from Chile, 79 from China, 1 from Estonia, 1 from Ethiopia, 4 from Hungary, 26 from India, 4 from Indonesia, 1 Japanese, 228 from Laos, 9 from Malaysia, 496 from Myanmar, 21 from Nepal, 1 from Latvia, 1 from Scotland, 1 from South Africa, 4 from South Korea, 7 from Sri Lanka, 1 from Sweden, 2 from Chinese Taipei, 6 from USA, 1 from Tibet, and 161 from Vietnam. Ashira, 1,195 students.
Oh,
from
that's great.
26
A
countries.
great number of international students that we have here in MCU main campus. If I'm not wrong, then I think MCU is the second university after ABAC, right, Ajahn?
Yeah, correct.
Who has more than 1,000 international students.
Yeah, I think ABAC is more than 3,000 now because ABAC I think is very popular for foreign students.
Yes, Ajahn. We have most of them are from ASEAN countries, and we have some European and Eastern countries as well.
I think for French students, they could not come. You know, they could not have come to Thailand. They're still in their country, but they learn online. Via Zoom, we have to provide the online classes for them. We have to. We still have some problem about this one, but we try to solve the problems. That now the French students.
Yes, again, I think that people are slowly getting used to online classes and online seminars and whatever they do on online nowadays.
Yes. Our online class, I think, taking off successfully because after 2 years, we get used to this one. And I observe that when we organize the online events, so many students, so many people come to attend a program. For example, we have the program with that NAC, National Anti-Corruption Office. At that time, I think more than 60,000 participants to participate in that program. We are very successful in this one. I think this time also the last number of
what is the statistics for this event, Ajahn?
I think 32,844 participants.
Oh, that's a great number.
Yes,
it's a great number.
Yeah, great number for this one. Is I think the first time to organize this online event through Zoom application. Ajira.
Yes.
Another one, I would like to talk something before the program is going to get started. Ajira, please.
Yes, you can please participate while we are waiting for the moderators and all the speakers, and also our venerable chairperson, the rector, to be here and deliver his keynote speech.
Actually, in the morning, that the most venerable Papa Mabandit, he kindly gave a speech on MCU and Buddhist wisdom development, wisdom and virtue development. He just tried to give the right direction, how Mahajala move forward. I think as the world-class University of Buddhism, this he just give very important points. For example, that he tried to focus how to develop our students. And also in the afternoon that we will get to the different ideas from different panelists from affiliated institutes, especially from Sri Lanka, from Hungary, Dr. Gabor Kasai, Dr. Upali, Sri Lankan, and he's from Hungary, and so one from Hungary. They are very experts and experienced in what you call education management, especially about Buddhism. They are coming to discuss and talk about this one. So actually, when we organize like this program, we never invited the executive members, lecturers, and students from affiliated students to participate in or to attend the program. This is the first time to have chance to invite them, to have opportunity to invite them to come to attend our program. Achila.
Yeah, that's a very good opportunity for both the people, right? The students, especially the students of MC, because they have the opportunity to listen from different perspectives of our international speakers as well, Jan Methapan. So it will be a very important, or let's say a very good chance for everyone to hear their to hear the sharings about or opinions about the education management, as Jan Methapan just mentioned earlier.
Okay, yeah, that's Achira. So actually, you see, apart from this, most venerable associate professor Dr. Patep Veti also is very experienced in what you call in Sangha affairs, because he's like a rising star in the Sangha affairs, because he have done many things nowadays, and he has been assigned a lot of work to develop the affairs of Buddhism as the secretary of what you call that about the school of education. Yeah, Pariyatitam Padak Saman.
Yes, Pariyati general education, let's say.
Yeah, something like that. Because that's why he
And apart from that, the Sangha administration, he's also expert in teaching Pali and English, let's say, in linguistics. He also has written books called named Mahaparian, right, Ajahn?
Yes.
That book was like a very famous book among all the Mahaparians and all the Pali 9 students a long time ago. Yes.
Actually, he finished grade 9 of Pali. That's why he's very expert in Pali. And also he completed doctor in linguistics. And he is expert in both Pali and linguistics. He have written one book,
Mahaparian.
Mahaparian English, something like that.
Mahaparian, yes, English, yes. And many Mahaparians, like Pali 9 monk students, they read this book a long time ago. You know, it was a famous book among the monks, the Pali student monks, let's say.
So actually, when we look back at the 1887, at the first day of running BA program. At that time, you know, only 156 students, monks and novices, who have got 5 grades of Pali were qualified for joining the first class of BA in Buddhism. So among of that, only 16 monks and novices were qualified to join BA program in Buddhism. And among of 16 monks and novices, only 6 monks graduated with BA in Buddhism. One of that is Professor Jamnong Thong Pasert. He is the graduate from the first class of our university.
The first batch of
the first batch of our university, BA in Buddhism. Among of 156 56 come to 156 come to 16, and the last only 6 graduates completed BA in the first batch. So from that day, we try to develop our university under the leaderships of Dr. Pamahanakon or Palat Ratanamoli. So from Palat Ratanamoli, just come to the most venerable Papama Bandit. Under the Papama Bandit, it's a long time, I think 20 years under his leaderships. And he has brought about many things to our universities. This is, I think, the turning point of the development of our university under the leadership of Prabhupada Pandit.
Definitely, Ajahn. Yes.
Yes. Now,
participants are here in this room for now. I think
515.
Oh, that's a lot.
515.
So we are still waiting for the keynote speakers.
Yeah, keynote speakers, because he has to speak in Thai version in the room one first.
Okay.
Room one. So after finish from that, he's coming. He's coming to give a keynote speech on MCU and Buddhist studies. So when we look at Buddhist studies, especially the most venerable Professor Dr. Patama Bandit, he tried to change our universities' visions, change to, I think, Buddhist innovation, the University of Buddhist Innovation, something like that, a Buddhist innovative university from the world-class University of Buddhism. This in, I think, for the 13 plans, development plans. Our rector tried to change the vision of our university. That's why I think today he's going to talk about this one, Buddhist studies, because nowadays, so many Westerners, Ashira, like I think what you call that, the Senate of USA, the Senate or the Parliament member, the members of Parliament of Mr. Tim Lyon. Tim Lyon is the member of Parliament of USA. Nowadays, he just introduced to convince the member of the Parliament, the Senate, and also the members of Parliament to pay homage to the Tibetan Jain before the starting of the assemblies of the members of Parliament. From that, and so it is come to, I think, Europe, like England, like France, and other countries. The members of Parliament, now they pay attention to Buddhism a lot, because they say that to save this world, the people have to come to the Buddhism, especially mindfulness, meditation, Ashira.
Yes, to apply the Buddhist teachings, let's say.
Yes.
As you can see, today's topic that Buddhist studies textualize and application, something, and not only coming to Buddhism, but applying its teaching to daily lives, let's say.
So to apply is very important, Ashila. As Prabhupada Pandit said that if we learn by heart the Buddha's teachings, but we cannot apply, it is useless. Yeah? We cannot teach other people. If we learn by heart, after that, we just try to think again and again, try to understand, and also bring it to practice until we get incited, and we will be able to teach and other also. This is Professor Dr. Parpama Pandit. turn out in the morning. That's why apply is very important. Or when we go to what you call the National University of Singapore, that in their library, if you go there, you will get only the books, textbooks, apply textbook only in every field. The Achila. So now we are waiting for keynote speakers. The most venerable Professor Dr. Pratham Vacharabandit, director of our university. So after keynote speaker, after that we are going to have panel discussion or seminar on MCU and Buddhist studies, textual, apply, and engage in current situation. So Achia?
Yes. I'm also watching live on YouTube as well. The director
We
is
still have some more chance.
presenting.
1:13. According to the schedule, the keynote speech is going to get started at 1:30. Ashira?
Sure, Ajahn. Yes, we'll still be waiting. And I think we still have more space to invite other participants to come.
Anyone would like to talk something, please? Talk
Yeah.
about how do you feel about 134 years of Mahajula Foundation?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, we have Venerable Kema Mon here. Someone is sharing the screen. Okay. Oh. Okay, Venerable, if you want to share something, please. We still have time.
Excuse me, teacher. Yeah, I know.
Okay, Kema Mon, please.
I want to listen in and don't want to share.
Where are you from? Kema Mon.
Yeah, I'm from Myanmar.
Myanmar. How do you feel today? Please talk something. How do you feel?
Oh, Ajahn, exactly is I want to listen in from Ajahn.
You are in Thailand or you are in Myanmar now?
Now in the Thailand.
In Thailand.
Yeah.
What about your junior?
Sorry, Ajahn.
What about your juniors? They could not have come to Thailand.
Oh, they are kind in the online, and now they are in the monastery. They're teaching online MCU. I think it's for MCU 134 anniversary of the MCU. This is very long history. I think is, and also congratulations for 134 anniversary. This is long history for the Buddhist university in around Asia. For today is I'm very happy to see, because I never see before university have been long history like this. Therefore, I'm very happy and listening to Ajahn also.
There are universities, I think the oldest university, as Ashira said, that our university is the oldest, I think 134 years. Compared to a human being, I think the one who, I think no one is last more than 100 years. Our last Sangaracha, Payana Samon, I think that he lasted, he lived for 100 years.
That's right, Ajahn. And another surprise is to be developed 134 amnesty is not easy. I think not easy. But even though not easy, our MCU can do that. Very surprise for me. I don't know how they manage the university, how to propagate the university, how many their scholar. I don't have idea. Therefore, I want to listen in from MCU boys, Ajahn.
Kemamon, have you contacted with your juniors in Myanmar?
Yes, Ajahn. Yes, I do.
So how?
They also join in the role, but I don't know where they are. They are very happy to go to study in the MCU Thailand.
Okay.
Yes, and every day now, even the coronavirus increase, they are trying to start MCU again every year. I don't know what is the reason they join every year in the MCU.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Mon, thank you very much.
Yes,
And I can also see
Thank you.
some of the participants from Sri Lanka, I think
Yeah,
from Sipa, maybe.
please.
They have joined this room. Yeah, so
Sunanda, Venerable Sunanda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am
Good
from Sri
afternoon.
Lanka.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon, sir. Good
Doctor.
afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Welcome to
Dr.
this
Upali. Dr. Upali. Come before.
Dr.
So how are you, Dr. Upali?
I think not Dr. Upali yet. He's
I am Sarat Chandrasekhar.
Oh, Sarat. Dr. Sarat. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
all right. Yes.
Dr.
So,
Sarat.
first of all,
Yeah,
I
please.
wish you for the 134th anniversary of
please.
MCU. We are highly grateful for our mother university. So, as a Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, also affiliate with your university, I think 134th years means not easy, and also all over the world now everybody knows about Mahachula Longkon Rajavidyalaya University. So we are also very happy to be part of your university, offering our Buddhist leadership degree, MA degree, and PhD degree. So also I think in the future MCU will be one of the great places to learn about the Buddhist studies. As I suggested last time, I think better to start in a very great manner to have a mindfulness learning and training and research center. So that will be really good to all over the world. Many psychologists, scientists, Buddhist monks and nuns will come to join for that kind of research center. So wish you very happy today be a part of your university. On behalf of Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, Sri Lanka, we wish all the respected rector, venerable rector, and all the academics and non-academic, those who are contributed to the coming to target of the 134th anniversary of MCU in establishing. So on behalf of Sri Lanka, we wish you best of luck in the future to be a great university with the high rank university in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sarat. So how many is from Sri Lanka today?
Today, yeah, already we have asked all our students and academics to join. More than 75 students and all the lecturers are joining this conference.
How about the situation in Sri Lanka now?
Now the little bit bad, and already we have the quarantine for until 21st September. So, but all the necessary works, people are going here and there and they do their own work, especially the health caretakers, doctors, nurses, they all works very hardly to get the situation into the normal. So we believe that it will be okay after a few months. It comes to the normal, we call new normal, so that people understand and do the things regular basis and start school, universities and all. So
yeah, we hope so. In Thailand also, we still have the serious problems. In Thailand, the pandemic also still very serious in Thailand, very severe. The same thing. So, Ashila?
Yes, Ajahn Metapan.
What about the other one? Please.
Yes, please. You are still invited. We're still waiting for the keynote speakers and all the panelists to join us. So I think we still have 5 minutes.
Other one would like to talk something? Assistant Professor Watana Munmang San, I think one is our lecturer from Nong Khai campus. Ajahn Watana. This is the resume of the moderator, Venerable Assistant Professor Dr. Pamahasurasak Pajantaseno.
He will be our today's moderator for this session.
He's coming to be the moderator. Now he's still in the room 1.
Right now, he's still.
I think Achiva, you know him very well.
Yes, he's my director. He's my director. Yes,
How is he?
He's very good. He's very good.
Yes, I also know him. Yeah, he is very kind for foreigner student.
Yeah.
And he had a foreigner student a lot of the problem. For example, is exam problem, visa problem. Ajahn Sudasat can hear for a foreigner student. Therefore, most of the foreigner student we are know very well Ajahn Sudasat. Thank you so much for.
Okay.
Yes.
One Pante is from Siba, from Sri Lanka. Ashira, do you know his name? This one?
Not sure. I still haven't found his name.
This Venerable, I could not see his name.
Venerable W. Sagara, something. Yeah. Yeah, he's from Siba as well because he has the Siba in front of the name. So yes.
Pante, would you like to talk something?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, please. Please.
So I'm stranger, and then also I don't know you, teacher, and you also don't know me.
Yeah.
So we
Assistant Professor Dr. Metapan and Ashira.
My name is Pramaha Venerable Ashira.
Yeah.
Yes, Ashira.
Yeah, please.
So please introduce yourself, Bante.
Yes. I'm so good afternoon, teacher. Good afternoon, every Zoom classmate, and then every officer who joins to this room. So for first time, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ben Ukanti. It's called Ukanti. I'm from Myanmar, Mon State. I'm also Mon Nation. But I stay in Myanmar, but I'm not Burmese. I'm Mon Nation, Mon nationality. So I have been in Thailand many years ago. Now I join IBSC Peace Study.
IBSC?
Yes, IBSC.
I see. You are in Thailand or you are in Myanmar now?
Now I'm in Thailand.
In Thailand, I see.
In Bangkok.
In Bangkok.
Yes.
In which temple?
Watsuthamawadi.
Watsuthamawadi. Oh, I see.
Praram Song.
All right.
Yes, Praram Song.
Okay. So how do you feel today? 134 years of MCU.
Yeah, this one and also I'm enjoying for that. And then I think very good. Also many teacher and professor explain about something concerning with the Chulalongkorn University. 134 year anniversary of MCU. So they explain and also it mention about history of MCU. But that is great for me to understand, to know about that. So I'm joyful for that this morning. But sometimes I'm an foreign student, but I can't speak Thailand, so I understand Thailand.
Can you speak Thai?
Whenever they speak in Thai, also I understand.
Oh,
because for example, myself, I like to mention about myself. I got BA in Thai language teacher.
Oh, I see.
And Thai language and at Mamagut Buddhist University. Mamagut. Then after that, I changed to join NCU. For first time for VA, I like to study Thai language. Then I joined Thai language for VA. Then after that, so my friend and teacher also why you join MA here? I told them that I like to study English language. So I changed to join MCU for English language. In that case, I like to get that international English language. So I joined IBC, MCU. And mostly my friend and also my teacher invite me to join Thai language. But I told them that I need to get English language more. But I'm not very expert in English language. So in that case, I like to study English. For MA, I need to get English language. So for BA also, I need Thai language. But whenever they speak Thai language, I understand. I also understand Thai language. Also, I can speak Thai language and can write. And
okay, thank you very much. Venerable Yanavangsa, Pante Yanavangsa from Sri Lanka. Venerable Tirana.
Excuse me, Namo Buddhaya. Can you hear me?
Namaskar, yeah. Please talk something about
Namo Buddhaya. I'm Venerable Panyalok from Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy.
Please. How do you feel today?
I think, it's a great opportunity for all of us, and I wish you all the very best and congratulate MCU for achieving this long success. And as a student who have actually followed the BA/BL special degree at International Buddhist Academy affiliated to MCU in Thailand, I'm really honored and happy to attend this conference. At the same time, we have asked almost all the undergraduates who are following MCU affiliated BA/BL degree to attend the program. So we are really happy and indeed honored to have been able to attend this conference. And thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Next one is I think from Sri Lanka also, Venerable K. Nawasa. I'm sorry, it's not sure. Was it G?
Nagasana.
Yeah, please. From Siba. So many from Siba today.
Yeah, in Sri Lanka, in some areas, of course, we are having internet, difficulties, signal weaknesses. So I think some of the students are joining from faraway places because we are running an online system at the moment. So sometimes they are unable to communicate,
I see.
because of the signal weaknesses. So please excuse for our students.
Okay, it's all right. Silananda Telo. Silananda Telo Pate. Would you like to tell something? Ashira, please call another one. Ashira.
Venerable Yanananda, right? Venerable from Siba, Sri Lanka, Venerable Nyanananda. If he's hearing, yes, please join us to share some wonderful words in this moment before we start our afternoon session on the academic seminar in English. That's an international version. I'm not sure how many participants are there here from Siba. I found 3 or 4 of them here.
Yes.
And besides that, I think we have most of them are from Thai, and also maybe we have Dhammaduta monks, maybe from foreign countries. Yes. I'm scrolling down the names. Yes, most of them are Thai. Yes. So we have altogether 567 participants for now in this room. And besides that, we also have another room in Thai room. I'm not sure about the
5 rooms.
exact amount of the participants. Yes.
We have other 5 rooms in Thai. In
5 rooms. Okay, 5 rooms. Oh, sorry. We have 5 rooms.
5 rooms.
Because
4,500 for Thai and 1,000 for.
I am from Siba campus, and I like to introduce one of the member of parliament. He also following your course. MCU course.
Please.
One of the member of parliament, Buddhika Patirana from our Siba International Buddhist Academy following the MCU course also.
Who is that one?
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
please.
me?
Buddhika?
Yes, sir. Sir, please.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah. First, I would like to give my greetings from myself, from Sri Lanka government, and especially all the colleagues of our batch of BABL MCU degree and BABL Siba University. This is great opportunity to us, and I never visit your university, but 3 or 4 times I was visited your country for official programs and especially industrial and trade sector. So this is a good opportunity to us, and please accept our greetings from Sri Lanka and Siba.
Okay, thank you very much.
Dan Methapan, I think the venerable.
Yeah, now the
chairperson
most
is already
venerable Patham Vajrabandit, the rector has already come. Yeah, on behalf of the participants, having more than now 568 participants here, including Thai, foreigners, and also from affiliated institutes. I just would like to pay respect to our most venerable Professor Dr. Patham Vajrabandit, rector of Mahajuala College, University. I am Assistant Professor Dr. Methapan and also Brahma Achira. Both of us may ask to play as Master of Ceremony today. First of all, I would like to introduce our keynote speakers. Keynote speaker today is the most venerable Professor Dr. Patham Vajrabandit. He is our rector.
มหา2 ท่านทำเนี่ยผมว่าเป็นเรื่องธรรมดามากเลยแล้วทำไมพระไลฟ์สดมันจะอะไรกันนักหนาแล้วไม่ได้ไปสอนให้คนไปปล้นธนาคารซะหน่อยพระนำม็อบยังมีเลยมึง
What's that?
Sorry. So during he have got very great night, and he also finished PhD from Banaras University, and nowadays he is, apart from the rector of Mahajuala College University, he also vice Sangha Commissioner Regional 5, and also he is the secretary of the President of Pali Language Studies. Now, please welcome the most venerable Professor Dr. Patham Vajrabandit, keynote speaker, to kindly give keynote speech on MCU and Buddhist studies, textual, applied, and engage in current situation. Please, the most venerable.
สวัสดีพี่สวัสดีท่านอาจารย์เดี๋ยวฝากนี่แป๊บหนึ่งได้วางไว้เลยของอาจารย์เบียร์แกเสร็จแล้วเดี๋ยวผมเป็นเลขาเดี๋ยวผมไปเอาของทำผลกันสบายดีนะครับ
เสียงใครที่คนไทยครับเสียงที่เปิดที่ไม่ได้ปิดไมค์กรุณาปิดไมค์ด้วยครับ
May I pay respect to the senior monks, friends in the Dhamma, MCU administrators, MTU lecturers, and students. Good afternoon here in Thailand. The time 1 p.m. 1:30 p.m. in Thailand. Today it is the special period for MCU community and all the senior monks in Thailand and foreign country, and all the laymen who have something related with MCU. King Rama V established MCU since CE 1887 or BE 2430. With the good intention to set up the educational institution specific for Buddhist monks and lay Buddhism in general, and also to provide the Tipitaka studies and higher education for the monks and laymen. So after that, to keep on the good intention of the King Rama V, the senior monks in those days have run the educational programs since the past up to the present. Even though in the beginning, the way of educational administration but in MCU by the senior monks in those days may have not completeness in terms of modern higher education institution. But we, those senior monks get rise to the contributions, valuable contribution to Thai Sangha institution and the Thai society in general. Too much contributions. And then in the year 2490, the educational programs in the forms of modern educational institutions have begun. And we are come together and providing educational program for the monks and the lay people up to the present. We have been 134 years already. So we come together to organize the activity. In one hand, to celebrate the successfulness in other hand, to memorize, to recollect the meritorious deed, the good intentions of King Rama V. In terms of administrations, especially academic administration, we have the firm fact in Buddhist proverbs that wisdom is the light in the world. So the senior monks in those days set up the philosophy, MCU philosophy, that wisdom is the light in the world. From this philosophy, we set up also the determinations and vision, especially in the present day. We have set up the determination that providing Buddhist studies integrated with modern science for Buddhist monks and laymen. We are MCU have the firm intention to provide the Buddhist study integrated with modern science. Have a look at the structures of curriculum in all major subjects, especially in the BA degree. Here we are MCU have the structures of curriculum completely different from the structure of curriculum of other universities. Because inside that, apart from general education or general subject, the basic subject, apart from major subjects, and apart from selective subjects, we provide the subsection inside that, inside the major subject. So major subject in MCU has been subdivided into two sections. The first section, the Buddhist subject, consists at least 40 units inside it. The second one, the major subject in general, something like. And also to follow the term integrated with modern science. Some students, even though they are major in Buddhist study, but inside the structure of the curriculum, they have opportunity also to study the modern subject, the modern science. So from body of the knowledge of Buddhist studies and modern science subject, they sometimes can integrate two sides together by themselves. This is our determination. As for our vision, here MCU Buddhist University, we have the vision that the Buddhist University with Buddhist innovation for mental and social development. We are assured in our past experiences, we are assured also in the body of knowledge accumulated from time to time up to the present, especially the body of Buddhist, the body of knowledge regarding Buddhist studies. So from now on, we have intensive attention to pay the emphasis on creation, the Buddhist innovation, social Buddhist innovation for mental and social development, not just development, to solve the mental problems. Buddhist innovation, when the people are suffer, how to release to or mitigate the sufferings. When they come to MCU or come to practice in the programs organized by MCU, they can find out the way out, the way of solving the mental problems. Apart from solving mental problems, from now on also MCU will go to the public, to society, to be the leaders of the society in creating the jobs, occupation for the people, and give suggestion to them on how to maintain, to live their lives in the proper way. This is the philosophy, determination, and vision of MCU. You can say that philosophy, determination, and vision cover the textual, Buddhist textual affair, apply Buddhism, and also engage Buddhism. Have a look at the passage in this light. MCU had the three main duties, or we can say the three main strategies to run the institution. The first one, the Buddhist universities provide the Buddhist studies, meditation, the Buddhist sacred, and we also will develop our institution to be the hub university, the hub monastery. So we try to set up the construct or to provide the Buddhist sacred faith inside the campus for mental relaxation. It means that apart from providing the academic subject for the student, we will provide the meditation practice for mental cultivation. We provide the place suitable for entering of the general people to come to visit, to pay the homage, to make a chant, and to have the mental relaxation at the same time. This is the first strategy. The second strategy, we will be the center of Buddhist as academic service to society in all dimensions. And the third one, we will create the Buddhist innovation for mental and social development. So, on the special occasion, 134 anniversaries of establishment, we come together, and also we welcome the administrators of MCU affiliated institutions in foreign country and the students of those MCU affiliated institutions to celebrate the birthday of MCU. And the most important thing, to share the vision with each other regarding how to work together, how to provide the education for the student, and how to do the work and give the contribution to the outside society, especially in this serious time we are facing the crisis of breakout the COVID-19, how to create the Buddhist social innovation to solve the problem of the people who are suffering nowadays. This is the spiritual occasion, and I would like to give so much thanks all the administrators, all the students, and the general people come together and support MCU from the past up to the present. Thank you very much.
On behalf of participants, I would like to express my appreciation and also gratitude to the most venerable Professor Dr. Pathama Pandit, as well as Pathama Pandit, Rector of Mahachular College University, to kindly gave a keynote speech on MCU and Buddhist studies, textual, apply, and engage in current situation. So according to him, that current situation will be saved that by the Buddha's teaching, or we call Buddha Dhamma, is the most important. If we take this chance, if we take this chance on the 134th anniversaries of our university foundation to discuss and to talk about and to importantly take the Buddha's teaching into force or into action, it will be very, very useful and also fruitful for all of us. On behalf of participants, again, I would like to thank you very much, the most venerable Professor Dr. Pathama Pandit, Rector of Mahachular College University, to kindly come to give keynote speech on this topic. Thank you very much. So now, after this, it will be panel discussion on MCU and Buddhist studies. The same topic, focus on textual, apply, and engage in current situation. I just would like to introduce the moderator. The moderator of this seminar, international seminar, is Venerable Assistant Professor Dr. Pamaha Surasak Pachanta Seno in Pali. Pachanta Sena Thera. Actually, nowadays he is the director of MCU Language Institute. and also assistant to the abbot of Wat Rajasitharam, Bangkok. So he finished Bachelor of Arts or BA in Pali and in Sanskrit, first class of honor from Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University. And also he have done BA in Thai studies from Sukhothai Thammachirat Open University, Thailand. He have done Master of Arts in Buddhist Studies from Thammasat University, Thailand, and also Master of Philosophy in Buddhist Studies from University of Delhi, India. And he completed Doctor of Philosophy in Buddhist Studies from University of Jammu, India. So he have written so many textbooks. For example, Yoniso Manasikan, a unique thought in Buddhism, a studies of Supakamathana in the Visuddhimagga, and Buddhism and legitimation of power. That is the important his performance in writing books or textbooks. Please welcome Venerable Assistant Professor Dr. Pamahasurasak Pajantaseno to moderate this international seminar on MCU and Buddhist studies, textual, apply, and engage in current situation. Now I just give this forum to you, please.
Respected, most venerable Professor Dr. Pratham Vacharabandit, Rector of Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University. Dear every participant, welcome to an international academic seminar on the auspicious occasion of 134th anniversary of MCU establishment on Monday, 13th September 2021. Today we have a golden opportunity to have knowledge shared by distinguished speaker from Thailand and abroad. First of all, I would like to introduce honorable distinguished speaker. First, the most honorable Associate Professor Dr. Prathep Vethi. He completed Pari study in the 9th grade from Thailand, Bachelor of Art in Philosophy, first class honor from Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University, Master of Arts in Linguistics from the University of Delhi, India, and also Doctor of Philosophy in Linguistics, University of Delhi, India. He is acting abbot of the Royal Temple, Wat Sangvet Visyaram, Bangkok, Thailand, and chief monk of the Sixth Sangha Regional Governor of Thailand, and vice rector for student affairs of MCU as well. He has well-known publications in Thailand as follows: Let's Learn English with Maha, the most venerable associate Professor Dr. Prathep Vethi. Next, honorable speaker Dr. Upali M. Sidere. He has a well-known, interesting background, especially education. Dr. Upari achieved Bachelor of Education First Class Honor, University of Ceylon, Sri Lanka, Master of Arts in Educational Measurements, Evaluation and Statistics, University of Iowa, USA, and Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Measurement, Evaluations and Statistics, University of Iowa as well. Now he is director and chief executive of Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy or SIBA campus in Sri Lanka. Dr. Ubali has well-known publications, many publications as follow. For example, education, missing knowledge, economy, globalization, and the low income economics, reforming education, the crisis of vision, secretary-based approach to development, global insecurity, and issue of personal identification, delineating an educational policy framework for the developing nations in meeting in the emerging global challenges by year 2050, and performance evaluation for competency-based training. Dr. Upali M. Sedere and Honorable Speaker, Mr. Kabo Kasai. Mr. Kabo Kasai is Director of the Marquess Buddhist College in Hungary. He has educational background. He finished Master of Arts degree, Ancient Greek Language and Literature from Joseph Attila University, Hungary, and also Master of Arts degree in Philosophy from Estoril Roland University, Hungary. Doctoral School of Philosophy, Phenomenology, sub-program, Ottawa Roland University, Hungary, and doctoral study at the Peace Study PhD program from International Buddhist Study College, Mhavaฬลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย University, Thailand. So, welcome distinguished speakers. First, my respect to the most venerable Prathep Veti, Vice Rector for Student Affairs of MCU. We have a question related to the theme of the academic seminar, MCU and Buddhist study, textuals, apply and engage from. So I, as a representative of participants, would like to know and question about how is education management and administration based on Buddhist study being managed by MCU in current situation. Please, Venerable Sir, you have time about 20 or 30 minutes. First round, sir, please. The most venerable Prathep Veti. Venerable, most venerable Prathep Veti is in the conference room now. Okay. Professor Dr. Upari from Sri Lanka is in the conference room now. Professor Dr. Pramha Sombun, Dean of Graduate School, please contact the honorable speaker.
Yes, Venerable. Actually, we contact them already. That we can start with the Dr. Gabo Kasai.
Okay.
Please.
Good afternoon, sir. Dr. Gabo Kasai, Director of the Marquess Buddhist College. Are you in the conference room now? Dr. Gabo Kasai, Venerable Pante, Dean of Graduate School, please contact the Director of the Marquess Buddhist College.
Sir Gabo, please unmute your microphone, please. and you open your microphone กระบอกกระไซ
Professor Kabokasai, please switch on your microphone. Yes. Chulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University is a Buddhist university organized into several academic units: Faculty of Buddhist Studies, Faculty of Education, Faculty of Social Science, Faculty of Humanities, Graduate School, and International Buddhist Study College.
แล้วเขาเปิดใหม่ไม่ได้
Yes. The faculties offered many undergraduate programs, about 30 undergraduate program, about the 15 master program, 7 doctoral program, and other academic trainings. Two of its master program, Buddhist study and philosophy, are internationally oriented and conducted in English. MCU offers a PhD in Buddhist study in English also. And now there are many foreign students studying in our university, and we provide not only Buddhist study, philosophy, but also Vipassana meditation. So today we have a good opportunity to know, experience, and also knowledge shared by Honorable Distinguished well-known speaker, Director of Dhamma Gate Buddhist College from Hungary, and also Director of International Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, or SIBA. Especially Professor Dr. Upali, he has experience about the education and management Buddhist studies. Now, Dr. Ubari and Mr. Kabokasai are in the conference room now.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, sir. Welcome and good afternoon from Thailand, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, the most honorable Professor Prathamvachara Bandit, keynote speaker on MCU and Buddhist study, textual, apply, and engage Buddhism. Now, we would like to have knowledge from you. What should be the direction of education management and administration based on Buddhist study directed by MCU or Buddhist University in the future? Could you please, you have about 30 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much, Venerable. And thank you very much for the invitation. I would like to especially express my gratitude to Most Venerable Professor Dr. Pra Damvajra Bundit, Director of MCU, for inviting me to participate in this international conference today. I'm speaking from Hungary, Budapest, where our college is located. And first of all, I would like to congratulate for the 134th anniversary of the establishment of MCU from all our fellow Buddhist practitioners and teachers and professors at the college. Greetings to you all. It's a wonderful achievement, and we are looking forward to our collaboration and cooperation in the future as well. I'm going to share my screen now because I prepared a presentation on this topic. And I would like to start showing you, if you can see my presentation, a photo. You may recognize King Rama V in the middle of the photo. He visited Hungary in 1897, just 10 years after he established MCU, and met Hungarian leaders of the parliament and government in that very year. And it was a very interesting and auspicious meeting between the Hungarian leaders and King Rama V at that time, and we at that time has already been interested in studying Buddhism, although Buddhist knowledge and Buddhist practice was not very well established and prevalent in the country in those years. But this was a very auspicious moment, and I just wanted to show you that there is some historical links between our countries. Now I would like to just address the topic of today's seminar, today's conference, Buddhist studies from textual, applied, and engaged perspectives. Some preliminary thoughts. Of course, we know that we need to study Buddhist texts, that the Buddhist canon of teachings and commentaries are very important in order to be able to understand the Buddha Dhamma and in order to be able to understand all the complexities around us. We also know that we need to put all that knowledge that we learn from the texts into application, that we need to practice, that we need to apply those wise teachings. And we also know that we need to be engaged in the world. We need to be engaged in facing all the challenges that are prevalent today or in the past as well. So these three, learning the texts, applying the knowledge in practice, and then being engaged with our fellow human beings around us are equally important. You can't say that one is more important than the other. You can also interpret that in the Buddhist terminology. The studying the texts, meaning gaining wisdom or panya in Buddhist Pali terminology. Putting that in practice means that we are engaged in meditation, in mindfulness practices, and samadhi practices. And being engaged with others, with fellow human beings and with other cultures or with other civilizations or with other sentient beings means that we are also engaged in acting, that we develop sila. So panya, samadhi, sila can be understood. The three important Buddhist ways of being can be understood in the context of studying texts, gaining wisdom, applying the knowledge in practice, and then finally acting along those principles that we found. And this is what we learn from the Buddha and what we learned from the Noble Eightfold Path. These three domains, Panya, Sila, Samadhi, cover what we call the Ariya Tangika Magga, the Eightfold Noble Path. The right view, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. This is my understanding of why we need to be not only studying texts, but also practicing meditation and developing a way of being, developing ethics, developing sila in our life. And that's what the Buddha taught us. There is nothing new here. This is what the Buddha taught us. This is what we inherited from the founder of this great teaching. Now I would like to go into a little bit deeper into how I understand all these three domains. Of course, the center of our attention and the center of our learning is Dhamma, studying the three domains that we mentioned, studying texts, studying practices, and acting in life along those principles. If we understand that Dhamma is at the center, then we can also see that there are various interpretations and teachings around what the Dhamma is. Teachings by masters, teachings by commentators, texts, and a wide, huge body of literature around what the Buddha thought and what the Buddha taught to us. These interpretations and teachings are also important for us to be able to develop a better understanding of what's happening in the world and with us in the world. That also means that we need to be engaged in studying philosophical, historical, and cultural studies. We need to be able to enter into dialogue with other thoughts, with other cultures, and with other perspectives on life, on what the human being is, and on our self-understanding. We can't just simply stay within our own limits and within our own boundaries. We need to be able to engage in dialogue. And that means that we also need to look at all these questions, these three domains, the wisdom domain, the practice domain, and the ethics domain from a scientific perspective as well. We need to understand from the social sciences and the natural sciences what's happening around us, who we are, and how we can also change certain activities or behaviors, or how we can face the crisis that's happening around us. That means that if we combine these four dimensions, the Dhamma, the interpretations, the philosophical, historical, cultural studies, and sciences, we can come to a more fuller or a more complete understanding of what we are, what we human beings are in this particular moment in history, and what our invitation is to really be able to cope with everything that's surrounding us. First, we need to understand what life is. That's the basis. That's what underlies everything. And then we also need to understand how life is based on a principle of self-organization, that life is not mechanical, that life has some creativity, has some inner energy, building all the building blocks that composes life in the end. We also need to see that there is cognition in everything that lives, that everything that lives, even the most basic creatures, have some form of experience and have some form of subjectivity or even a character of the mind embedded in their very existence. And that leads to certain behaviors, certain habits that these sentient beings perform, including human beings. Of course, we talk about human beings most of the time, so we need to understand our own habits, or bad habits and or good habits, or negative behaviors and or positive behaviors as well. So this means that we need to understand the biological, the cognitive, and the behavioral aspects of who we are. And we need to understand the self and the identity that is somehow created out of this vast body of existence, that there is a certain identity that describes who we are and how we look at ourselves, both individually as individual human beings and as well as collectively, what the humanity as a whole is. But we also need to see, and that's what the Buddha taught us, that there is a certain gap, a certain boundary, a certain incompleteness or emptiness included in this self, in this identity. This is not a self-closed identity. I'm quoting Viktor Frankl here, who said that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So there, with this boundary, with this limitation that we develop and create as ourself, as our identity, there is a chance to change, because there is a space in the middle of that. There is a space of transformation. There is a process. It's not a substance. It's selfless self. That's anatta. That's what we heard and we learned from the Buddha. So there is inherent groundlessness, inherent impermanence, inherent spontaneity, creativity, transformation, transcendence, emptiness in that very identity of who we are as individual human beings. And if we are able to surpass that limitation, then we will be able to grow further and realize other dimensions of our existence besides the biological, the cognitive, and the behavioral dimensions. We are able to develop our intellectual or contemplative and even our spiritual dimensions, who we human beings are and what we need to do in this life. So there is, if we are able to do that well, if we are able to grow intellectually, we will gain knowledge. If we are able to practice well, we will be able to gain awareness and mindfulness. And finally, we will be able to realize that we are alive, that there is some aliveness at the center of our existence, at the center of all existence on this planet. If we gain knowledge, we are able to change our habits. If we gain mindfulness, we are able to change our mind, our mindset. And if we gain this very principle of aliveness, well, then we are able to change our life. We are able to change our way of life. And that's these three dimensions are what the Buddha was speaking about in the domain of wisdom, in the domain of samadhi, and in the domain of sila, ethics. Change of habits, change of mind, change of life. So we are able to grow individually. But this is not the end of the story. We need to realize that this verticality that we think we human beings have is actually not unique. It's actually something that we need to respect well, and we need to offer to all life on planet. So we need to turn it around. We need to lay down and realize that we are just one among many. We human beings are among many beings, many sentient beings on this planet, and we need to be able to develop sympathy, compassion, and even cooperation with those other forms of life. So we need to go beyond the individual dimension of our existence, and we need to be able to relate to systemic, social, and environmental issues and challenges as well in our activities, in our programs, in our curriculum at the universities. So we need to be able to learn and develop an understanding what all life means, what interconnectedness means with all life, and what dialogue means among the various forms of existence, including human beings, of course. So that leads us to realizing interdependence and uncertainty as well, that nothing is certain and nothing is fixed and nothing is finite and nothing is complete, that all life is really shaken at its very core and at risk right now due to the activities of the human population on the planet. So we need to go further. We need to transcend that very identity and self we created as human beings, as humanity on this planet, and we need to develop a deeper insight and wisdom. And also we need to practice the Brahmavihara. We need to realize or being kind, being compassionate, being joyful, and equanimous. And if we do that well, we will be able to also practice sila, not only on our individual level, but also on the collective level. So we will be able to develop a caring attitude towards all existence. We will be able to live together with differences, not only differences between various human populations, cultures, countries, but also we will be able to live together with differences with all other forms of existence. If we spin this hourglass around, then life will mean all life, and the aliveness mean living together with all other beings. So we will be able to create a global community of interbeing, not only centering our attention on our individual selves. There is a famous author, Eisenstein, who called all humans on this earth to fall in love with the earth, to fall in love with nature, to care for all life, to be able to face the other meaning the other human person, the other human being, but also all creatures. And that requires a radical operation of decentration. It's a quote from Francisco Varela, the founder of Mind and Life Institute. We need to decenter our attention, centered on ourselves, to being centered on all life. Because the mind is not in the head. The mind is not inside nor outside. The mind is not mine, nor yours. So if we understand the eightfold noble path in this context, then we will be able to understand the right view, the right resolve, the right speech, the right conduct, the right livelihood, the right effort, the right mindfulness, and the right samadhi from a much more global and much more interconnected and much more dialogical perspective. And that's where I feel the new direction of the MCU, with focusing on the dialogue with sciences and the integration with the mental and social development perspectives, is so crucial and so vital and so important. And it's really wonderful to hear that MCU is on that path. And I would like to offer all our support and help from the Dharmagate Buddhist College, because we also understand this challenge and this context where we are today, what challenges we are facing from all perspectives, and that we would need to be able to expand and deepen our understanding or wisdom or practice and our way of being or acting. We would need to be able to expand and deepen the understanding of the Buddha's teachings around the Eightfold Noble Path. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel Kansai, Director of the Marquez Buddhist College. He presents the Direction of Education Management and Administration both on based on Buddhist study, especially the Marquez Buddhist College in Hungary. So next, may I respectfully invite the most venerable Associate Professor, Dr. Pratep Veti, Vice Rector for Student Affairs of MCU. Most venerable sir, are you in the conference?
Yes.
Most venerable sir, how is education, how your education management and administration based on Buddhist study being managed by MCU in current situation, sir?
Okay. First of all, I would like to pay respect to the most venerable Phra Prom Bandit, Phra Tham Vachara Bandit, and Phra Thepawara Methi. And also, good afternoon to speaker, Dr. Upali M. Serede from Sri Lanka, and also Mr. Gabriel Kansai, Director for Dharmagate from Hungary, all participants, and also good afternoon to the speaker, Dr. Pramaha Surasak Pachanta Seno, all participants. Usually the topic we are going to discuss today in celebrations 134 anniversary of our MCU Mahachula Buddhist University on 13th of September 2021. Actually, the topic we are going to discuss today mentioned that MCU and Buddhist study take actions applied and engaged in current situation, or take action applied and engaged in current situation
we can simply say that these are the missions of our university itself. As we have known already about the mission of our university, the first one is to produce and develop its graduates. The second one to conduct research that develop a body of knowledge along with learning and teaching progresses. The third one to promote Buddhism and academic service within society. And the last one of our mission, to promote and develop learning resources for preserving arts and culture suitable for study. The topic today it is available or is suitable for our missions. But first of all, before going and talking about the textuals and applied and engaged Buddhism for our university in current situations, I would like to briefly talk about the history of Mahathir for all participants. Usually our rector have mentioned already that when our university being established, but I would like to repeat once again for you all. As mentioned, in 1887 or 2430 BE Buddhist era, His Majesty King Chulalongkorn or King Rama V established the first Sangha college in Thailand, which is called Mahathat, Mahadatu, Mahathat Vitayalaya, which was located at Wat Mahathat, Thapachan in Bangkok. It was intended to be the place to study the Tipitaka and the higher education for monks, novices, and the ladies. It officially began providing education in 1889, or in BE 2432. On the 13th of September of 1896, or BE 2439, Buddhist era 2439 BE. The college was given a new status and name, they got new name as Mahajula Longkorn Rachwitayalaya, or in brief or in abbreviation, we can simply say that MCU. Our history go on. In 1947, of 2490 BE, the college was upgraded to a university level by establishing the faculty of Buddhism, by establishing the faculty of Buddhism. In 1984, BE 2527 is what essential progress for our university when the Thai government issued the act of Parasha Banyat, certifying the bachelor degree for MCU, certifying the bachelor degree from MCU, the Sangha University. In 1997, or in BE 2540, again, the Thai Parliament passed the act recognizing MCU as a legal entity, Niti Bukhon, and university under the government supervision become our university that become, we can say that become a state university. In 2008, in BE 2551, the university relocated from Wat Mahathat from Wat Mahathat in Bangkok to the new main campus at Wang Noi, Ayutthaya province in Thailand. Since university had received the legal entity, since the university has received the legal entity มีสภาพเป็นนิติบุคคลแล้วand become the educational institutions under the government supervision. The educational management of our university had expanded throughout the country. ก็ขยายไปทั่วประเทศ Number of both home and overseas students registered to study. And now, let me tell you, there are 11 campuses, 11 วิทยาเขต 23 สังฆ college 23 วิทยาลัยสงฆ์ one extended the classroom. Right now we have upgrade to Sangha college already. That one extended classroom at that time we mean ห้องเรียน from Kanchanaburi province, but now has been upgraded to Sangha college already. Become 24 Sangha college. 7 academic service unit มี 7 หน่วยวิทยาบริการ and 1 domestic affiliated institute มีสถาบันสมทบ 1 แห่งที่ประเทศไทยคือที่ปัญญาวิทยาลัยที่สงขลา and 6 international affiliated institutes มี 6 สถาบันสมทบทั่วโลก Currently, the university is offering the postgraduate education under the supervision of the graduate school. We also provide the postgraduate education คือให้การศึกษาระดับปริญญาโทและปริญญาตรีด้วย and bachelor program are supervised by the 4 faculty ในระดับปริญญาตรีก็แบ่งออกเป็นถึง 4 คณะ that is they are faculty of Buddhism, education, humanity, and social science. And also we have International Buddhist Study College. We also have Buddhist International Buddhist College, IBSC in abbreviation. In terms of social service, the university has the academic service unit of the society, such as Abhidhamma Chotika College, Buddhist Studies Sunday School, Buddhist Research Institutes, Vipassana Meditation Institute, Language Institute, and also Dhammadutta College. With the topic, we are talking about textuals, apply and engage Buddhism. I would like to talk about the Buddhist in terms of textuals. I would like to talk about Buddhist texts. Buddhist texts are those religious texts which are part of Buddhist traditions. The first Buddhist texts are initially passed on orally by Buddhist monastery, but were written down and composed as a manuscript in various countries, including Thai language. MCU, with the blessings of the Supreme Sangha Council of Thailand or Mahathir Samakom and support of the Royal Thai government, has recognized the reviewing projects of Tipitaka. For our MCU, we used to have organized the reviewing projects of Tipitaka, which is called Mahajula version. เคยชำระพระไตรปิฎกมาแล้ว as well. Apart from organizing the reviewing the Tipitaka Mahajula version, MCU too had hosted the compiling the project of the common Buddhist text. You may know, you may have heard, and you may have read about common Buddhist text. This also the products of of MCU. We used to host the comprising projects of common text, common Buddhist text, guidance and insights from the Buddha. With collaborations of Buddhist comprising committees among the main three living traditions of Buddhism, they are Theravada Buddhism, Theravada tradition, Mahayana tradition, and also Vajrayana tradition. In commemorating that the United Nations General Assembly had recognized the Vesak Day as an international holiday. Also, in terms of applied Buddhism, MCU itself have regularly performed this duty. We pay very much attention about applied Buddhism. We established the Buddhist Sunday School. We established Buddhist Sunday School. โรงเรียนพุทธศาสนาวันอาทิตย์ Buddhist Research Institutes, Vipassana Meditation Institutes, Dhamma-Dutta College, in order to make or to enhance, to encourage apply Buddhism alive. We have established the following institution. We send our students to propagate or to teach the Buddha teaching, the Buddhist study of Buddha's teaching at the school worldwide, not worldwide, nationwide, regionally. And also organize Vipassana meditation program weekly or even monthly by Vipassana Meditation Institutes in order to develop the insight meditation for those interested, for those who are interested, and establishing the Dhamma-Dutta College, Vidyalai Dhamma-Tut, in order to send or dispatch the Dhamma-Dutta Bhikkhu to foreign country. With visions and missions to promote the engaged Buddhism, we established the following organizations as follow. The first one, establishment of the IBSC. The IBSC, I have mentioned already. It is the establishment of IBSC is to accommodate a group of monks and lay people from around the world who want to study Buddhism at our university. The second one, the establishment of International Council for the Day of Vesak, or we can say in the form of abbreviation, the ICVD, and also International Organizing Committee of the United Nations Day of Vesak, or IOC, is to develop a variety of collaboration efforts, such as to propagate the sublime doctrine of the Lord Buddha, to promote unity, solidarity, and brotherhood among Buddhists. And the third one, to promote, foster, and maintain collaborations between the different Buddhist traditions. And also to discuss matters relating to the general welfare of the world Buddhist communities. These are the aim of establishment of the ICVD or IOC at our university. Apart from that one, we also have the establishment of language institutes. Also, the director of language institute also participate this program as moderator. The establishment of the language institutes is to provide the teaching of courses of language such as Thai, English, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Burmese, and Pali, etc. And also the establishment of ASEAN Study Center is for the management planning, development research, providing knowledge related to AEC. I can simply tell you that in the situations of COVID-19 pandemic, in terms of engaged Buddhism, Mahachula Buddhist University or Mahachula Buddhist Vidyalaya University also have been doing a lot, have done a lot in order to have done a lot for the social welfare. We organize the program because we have so many foreign students studying at our university here. We enhance or encourage students, especially from Burmese, from Myanmar, to go and serve or service for those who are affected by the COVID-19, because we know that many Myanmar immigrations, Myanmar workers are working in Thailand a lot. And also we have collaborations with the outside the network organization, to solve this problem about the COVID-19. This also can be included at engaged Buddhism that Mahachula have been running so far. That's why I would like to talk to tell you to discuss about what do we mean by engaged Buddhism, textual and applied Buddhism at our MCU for the first round now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The most venerable Associate Professor, Dr. Pratep Veti, the Vice Rector for Student Affairs of MCU, for the wonderful presentation about the history of MCU and the current situations of Buddhist study provided in MCU. He said that MCU provide not only Buddhist study but also social welfare, vipassana meditations, textual Buddhism, engaged Buddhism, and also applied Buddhism for development, mental and physical development. And also Professor Kansai's message very interesting. He presented Dhamma interpretation, teaching, philosophical, historical, and cultural science, and also understand life, what underlies everything, how it is based on self-organization, cognitions, everything that life was some form experience mind, and also habit, behavior, positive behavior or negative behaviors, behavioral and cognitive, self-identity, boundary, and gap. So interesting, Professor Kasai, and also the most venerable Pratep Veti. Next, we have distinguished speaker, Dr. Ubari from Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy. Dr. Ubali have knowledge and experience related to Theravada Buddhist education. He provides Theravada Buddhist education in Sri Lanka and in the region. Over 100 Buddhist monks have earned degree in Buddhist leadership from various countries and Sri Lanka at SIBA campus. as a result of propagating Siba's new approach to offer concession, tuition, and accommodation fee to foreign monks to study the Theravada Dhamma in English. Especially, Dr. Ubari has experience about the Siba being the higher education of the Darada Marikawa. He holds the responsibility of representing the supreme institutions as on function and religious event and educational institutions meeting at all levels in Sri Lanka as well as abroad. Professor Dr. Ubali, sir, we would like to know what should be the direction of education management and administrations based on Buddhist study directed by MCU or SIBA in future. Could you please, Dr. Ubali, sir?
Thank you, Venerable Sir. I logged in a bit late, mistaking Sri Lanka time and Bangkok time. That was my delay. Sorry for that. I'm so happy to be here, and I congratulate MCU on the 134th anniversary. And these are not easy years. MCU has become the largest Buddhist university today, and I am very proud to say that, you know, Sri Lanka Buddhist Academy, SIBA, International Buddhist Academy, actually got its birth from MCU. Our affiliation, actually, we started with MCU. So we always have the respect for that, because at one time when Sri Lanka lost its Buddhist identity in the Buddhist community, it was the Thailand, the Siam, who reinitiated Buddhist education in Sri Lanka. Clergyhood was stabilized, and we are ever grateful to you, for your country, and your Sangha for doing that. So with all that, I take 1 minute to say that Professor Dr. Kasai's presentation was really, I enjoyed your presentation very much, Dr. Kasai, because it's a very good analysis. I'm sure I will study it more. Let me say, I'm not a Buddhist scholar. I'm a social scientist. I'm an educationist, but I give leadership to Buddhist education at SIBA. Now it has, SIBA started with many new things. When I joined SIBA as rector in 2013, actually it was a little bit going down actually. The student numbers were going down, nothing was stable, but I managed to bring it to the correct path. Today, SIBA is a well-recognized institution, not only Sri Lanka, even outside. Our student numbers have gone beyond 5,000. That's a major achievement for us this year. Today, we have over 5,000 students enrolled in SIBA. But for Buddhist studies, still a very small number is there, just hundreds in Buddhist studies. But what is important in SIBA Buddhist education is that one thing that I wanted to introduce was, I did two important things. One is that all Buddhist monks, I wanted them to not only just get the degree, they should be able to preach Buddha Dhamma in English. So Dhamma preaching program became a very important item for all Buddhist monks at SIBA, and we trained them from the very first semester, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like that. But by the time 4 years, all our Buddhist monks, including foreign monks who are with us, we have many Vietnamese students. We had Myanmar students, Nepali students, Indian students. Many of them, their English was very, very weak when they came to SIBA. But they all could preach Buddha Dhamma, at least a 1 hour lecture, 1 hour Dhamma session in English. That was a great achievement, I think, and that is very steadily continued now. That helped a lot because you see, the SIBA was established not just because we want another Buddhist institution. One important thing the SIBA had was to preach Dhamma in English. That is why we became an English medium institution, to preach Dhamma in English to the rest of the world. So we achieved that objective to some extent. To facilitate that, what I did was, all Buddhist monks, all those who study Buddhism also had to follow the diploma in English at SIBA. These are all, there were no charges for that. All those who are following the bachelor's program in Buddhist studies also had to do the diploma in English. Also, we are producing our Buddhist leaders for the 21st century. So I also made it compulsory for all Buddhist studies students, undergraduates, to follow the diploma in information technology, free. So I equip them from both sides. One is the English language, on the other side is the information technology part, to be more effective in 21st century. So that both helped a lot for our Buddhist monk to get better identity. Today, I'm proud to say that even on public television, you can see many times English Dhamma preaching is done by SIBA students. I'm glad to say that there are several temples outside Sri Lanka now headed by our past students. These are major achievements in the Buddhist field, because not easy to happen. It has happened now. Then the other important thing is that I introduced meditation as a compulsory component. That actually goes on very well. I introduced mindfulness training, actually, rather than calling meditation. At one time, our senior management, we thought it is better to call it mindfulness training. So we introduced mindfulness training to all students at SIBA. Those who are doing BSc IT, those who are doing Bachelors of Technology, those who are doing Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts and all that, they all had to do mindfulness training as a compulsory component of their curriculum. So as you say, the Buddhist engagement, you can be a Buddhist, but if you are not engaged in Buddhist practices, that does not make much sense to become a Buddhist. So the young graduates in our state universities today are very restless. They don't have the kind of emotional maturity that we expect. But I'm glad to say at SIBA, we have much better students who are emotionally better, mature, well behaved, and they maintain discipline, self-discipline quite well. This is the strength that we have achieved at a Buddhist educational institution. Our students, because of the IT skill that all our students have achieved, I decided in 2015 to introduce online learning system called SIBA Blackboard. This happened in 2015. I know most of our even lecturers, academics thought, why online learning system for SIBA when all students are present on campus and teaching? But I forced them to do certain things online. All students were enrolled in online platform, and all lecturers had to share their assignments, exams, everything online, while they were also participating in classroom teaching. But you see, when COVID broke out in end of 2019 or beginning of 2020, all education institutions in Sri Lanka was lost to a big extent, except SIBA, because SIBA students and academics were already on the learning platform. We had our own SIBA Blackboard learning platform established from 2015. That was nothing new. I only had to say, now teach online. And facility was already there. Only thing we had to strengthen, because it was a bit slower and all that, we upgraded all those things with no time. Today, nearly 5,000 students from all over Sri Lanka actively use the online platform, including our monks. Our students, many of them left Sri Lanka due to COVID, but they are all engaged in studies from Vietnam or Myanmar or elsewhere because of the online platform. I think this was another important thing that what SIBA as a Buddhist education institutions achieved, when all our government institutions, other state universities and private universities, they had to reinvent it and do it after COVID, but we were already there. That was the very reason why we have sustained very well so far as a Buddhist institution. But I don't want to take a long time from you. But we must always say our Buddhist education is more complete today because of MCU's contribution. Our master's degree program is run with MCU. We have given PhDs from MCU. We are looking forward to continue master's and PhD programs with MCU in the future as well, because it is the solidarity that we build between us, the affiliated institutions, and the MCU will not only help us, but also it will help the Buddhist community, Buddhist educational system. And to be stronger and stronger, we need to be together. So with my sincere wishes for MCU from SIBA, and also from the Sri Dalada Maligawa, the chairman of our SIBA board is the lay custodian of the Sri Dalada Maligawa of the Temple of the Tooth Relic, and also the Asgiri and Malnata chapter high priest. They are our advisory bodies. We all together wish all prosperity for MCU, and we look forward to have a stronger partnership with you. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Upali, Rector of Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy from Sri Lanka. So now may I have the nice voice from the administrators or students of the Buddhist College in Chinese Taipei, Buddhist College of Singapore, Tsinghua University, and also students from SIBA. Could you please show your voice, please? So if a representative of the Buddhist College of Singapore, Buddhist College of Chinese Taipei or SIBA would like to question distinguished moderator, could you please show your voice, please?
Yes, Honorable Sir.
Yes.
Yes, I'm from Singapore Buddhist College.
Okay, from Singapore Buddhist College. Yes. Okay, we are going to give you an opportunity to questions the distinguished moderator later. Just please wait.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Sir, Associate Professor Dr. Pratep Veti, I, as a representative of distinguished participants, would like to give the question to you. We realize very much that engage Buddhism and also apply Buddhism is important and necessary for mental or physical development in the current situation, every country. But textual Buddhism also important, such as Dhammapattatthakatha, Sumankaravilasini, Mankarathatipani, something like that. How can we cultivate and encourage young generation, especially young monks generation, to study, to learn textual study, especially in MCU? Sir, please.
Thank you. You're asking from me, right?
No. Could you please wait a moment? I question the most honorable Pratep Veti. Yes, sir. Could you please switch on microphone, sir? Microphone first. ท่านเจ้าคุณอาจารย์
This is the question or what?
Yeah,
Question.
so we
Question from
realize,
where?
yeah, we rely very much now, apply Buddhism and engage Buddhism, very important for mental and physical development in current situation. But
Yes.
textual Buddhism also important. But now, young generation, young Hmong generation, very less to study textual study, especially Pali language. How can we encourage young Hmong generation to learn to study textual study, especially?
Oh, the question you are asking me or what? You are asking me.
Yes, I asking you, sir.
Okay, I can simply tell you that according to Buddhist traditions, we start with pariyat, after that patibat. Okay,
Yes,
we study in the theory in textual first. After that, we come to practicing, and also those who wish to do about engage Buddhism and apply Buddhism. Did you know something about academic term of Buddhist study? We also, I have mentioned right now that we send our bhikkhu, our students to preach or to teach students at the school nationwide. What is the aim of doing like this? Because first of all, we would like to revise our students to know about the about the text first. It doesn't matter that you can practice or what, but first you should know what have been written, what the Buddha taught or whatsoever. After that, we come to the practicing. But our students come to school and study, teach students that we ask them to teach them for the both way. That is the textual, the text books, and also practicing. For the practicing, we can start with for the beginner. We can simply ask them to practice meditation, such as samatha or tranquil meditation or insight meditation or something like that. And also how to pay respect to the different James. How do we spread living kindness to all beings? This is the kind of practicing for mental success. That's why I can tell you that our university be successful, reach to the key of success by with textual studies, and also apply and engage Buddhism. And I have mentioned earlier that this is our mission. After studying at the classroom, we have to go for engage Buddhism. How do we apply our Buddhist for the society as an end? All things that we have done so far, Mahajula, our university have been doing these 3 cases so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The same questions, Professor Kasai from the market, Buddhist College. Now, young Hmong generation in Thailand, especially MCU, very less interesting to study textual Buddhism compared to other subjects. So, as your experience and knowledge, how can you encourage young generation, especially the European Buddhists or some of your students to realize and interested to study the textual Buddhism, sir?
Thank you very much for the question. It's a really important one and not easy to answer. What we do at our college is that we share our own personal experiences and our personal journeys. I mean, my colleagues, fellow professors sharing why we wanted to study Buddhism at the first place when we were younger, what motivated us, and what we found in studying not only the practice and the practical applications, but also the texts and the philosophies of the various schools of Buddhism. And that can help them understand through personal stories, the importance and the meaning of studying texts. And we also built a balanced curriculum. I can show that to you actually, because I haven't spoken much about the program at our college, but here you can see that this is our BA curriculum for Buddhist theory and practice. That's the title of our program. We teach Buddhist philosophy throughout the 6 semesters. We teach meditation, practice, satipatthana, and of course movement practices. And we teach Buddhist scriptures, some basic Pali texts and Dhammapada and Pali Canon texts more, and then Mahayana Sutras, Tibetan texts and Zen texts. We also teach applied Buddhism, psychology, and engaged Buddhism. And then we teach the 3 main traditions of Buddhism, Theravada, Zen, and Tibetan Buddhism, history, scriptures, texts, rituals, philosophy. And then we have some introduction courses on the introduction to philosophy and religious studies and the cultural history of Buddhism, as well as Indian philosophical schools and religions. So this is the core program. You can see all the courses. Plus they can specialize then in Buddhist meditation or in history of religions and philosophy. So those students who are more interested in meditation can choose the meditation specialization. Those students who are more interested in reading texts and thinking about philosophical terms and history of religions, they can choose the other specialization. And then we offer Pali language and Tibetan language specializations as well. So they can study Pali language and Pali texts. So we tried to diversify the program, not the core program, but the specializations according to the special interests of our students. So those who are interested in texts can study Pali or Tibetan or philosophy, and those who are interested in meditation can enroll to that specialization. But to answer your question, how we motivate them is just simply giving some examples of terms. If you understand the meaning of those original terms, whether in Greek philosophy or in Pali or in Sanskrit, you can get a much deeper understanding of what the Buddha talked about. You need to have both sides. You need to have the understanding, the intellectual side of understanding, and you need to have the practical side of understanding as well. So in meditation, one can really understand what anatta means, for example, or what dukkha means, for example, or what anicca means, practicing meditation and understanding these terms for meditative experience. But you can't really understand those terms if you don't read the text as well and see the context, see the explanations of coming from the Buddha, because those explanations are not only words, they are essential realizations of what these terms mean, and they are essential realizations of enlightenment and nibbana in the end. So the texts are not texts. The texts are not words. They are realizations of enlightenment and of nibbana in the end. So reading the text in their original form, even though they may have been translated into Hungarian, so we read them in Hungarian, can lead you into that spirit, into that experience of the enlightenment and the teachings of the Buddha directly. And you can't really have a better access than reading those texts and then meditating on the meaning of those texts. If you do only the one or the other, you won't get to the same level of experience and understanding.
So your student also practice yoga?
Yes.
Oh, very interesting. Thank you very much, Professor Kasai. Dr. Upali, before last year, the Dean of Graduate School of MCU and I visited your college, Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy. Venerable Associate Professor Dr. Pramahasambun, Dean Graduate School of MCU, has some question to you, sir. Please, Venerable Pramahasambun, please.
Thank you so much, Venerable Pramahasurasak, for inviting me. Yeah, thank you, Sir Gabo and Sir Pali, especially Venerable Patev Veti, Vice Rector for Student Affairs of MCU. I'm very appreciated to hear from you about how can we plan or organize Buddhist study in the current situation, especially Gabo Kasai, that you share your curriculum that consists of different specialization. But I think I see your curriculum cover what we call in the Buddha teaching Pariyati Dhamma, right? Academic study, Patibati Satthamma, practical Buddhism, academic Buddhism, practical Buddhism, and Pativeta Dhamma, enlightenment Buddhism. I think my question is, as you know, according to the three Satthamma of the Buddha, academic Buddhism, practical Buddhism, and enlightenment Buddhism. Then how can we design the curriculum of Buddhist study, Buddhist study curriculum to relevant to respond the need of individual student and the need of Buddhism? Can we design or plan our Buddhist education or Buddhist study to respond both individual need and a Buddhism need? And that I mean the security of Buddhism, right? The existence of Buddhism in the situation, the current situation, especially in digital age or globalization. Please, my question to all of you, Gabo and Professor Upali and Venerable Patev Veti, please.
Professor Upali, could you please answer Venerable Pramahasambun question, sir, please?
Actually, our curriculum, we have made some of the changes we would like to make. The Sri Lanka earlier, you know, the Sri Lanka Buddhist degrees, most of our students do it for the second reason, actually, as an academic qualification. More than actually, we have 2-3 types of the young qualify for something. We have older students. We won't believe that we have some students doing master's degrees and bachelor's degrees who are already medical doctors. They are coming for different purpose. They want to understand Buddhism. They want to understand life better, and that kind of thing. So the curriculum does not sometimes cater to both categories separately. The one reason why we have included some of the subjects are like that. I was reading the curriculum that Dr. Kasai presented has a wide range of subjects, and I feel that, you know, we need to understand some of the, even MCU curriculum is quite wide. But you are also going to teach languages in MCU curriculum. If you take, you know, the Sri Lankan students who are following MCU curriculum, we offer that. They have to learn basic Chinese, maybe basic Thai, and many other subjects like that. We need to, not a bad idea, maybe Venerable, if we can have a joint committee of affiliate institutions to look into some of the matters, rather than it is decided by just one side. We all can contribute, and particularly in the current context, teaching online has become very common today due to COVID. That's one good thing happened due to COVID was that online education has spread. So today it is possible for MCU to teach some of our students from Bangkok. Also, it is possible for Sri Lanka to teach some courses from Colombo or from Kandy or Siba. Or similarly, Dr. Kasai can teach some courses, from his institution. We should explore this possibility. That makes us more richer in academic life, rather than trying to curtail into one place. We all can share, because sharing also gives more solidarity, and because that is what is lacking in the Buddhist community. When you look at some of the other religious communities, Buddhist communities have less solidarity. This is the observation that I think I made this remark even earlier at MCU someday.
Okay, sir. The most venerable sir, Pratibeti, you would like to answer
Usually I forgot that question already, what you are asking, but I can tell you, according to me, it depends on the individual persons or individual. It depends on individual. Usually our university have provided textuals or doctrine for Pariyat to study already in the classroom. Also, we provide for practicing meditation. We encourage students to participate the program every year. For the first year up to the fourth year, students have to participate practicing Vipassana program for 10 days for bachelor. As I know, for 10 days for bachelor degree, bachelor degree for MA and PhD. Also, we increase the day for practicing. It depends on individual, as I have mentioned. To reach to enlightened Buddhism, we provide the Vipassana or insight meditation only for them. They can reach to that place or what, it depends on individual, as I have mentioned already. If they have been practice for a long time, or they can concentrate what to do, how to do. I believe that to reach to enlightenment study, enlightenment Buddhism, it can be possible for all of them. But our aims of our university to encourage students to participate the program, which is called, usually we call this program is Vipassana program, Vipassana Insight Meditation. But I can simply tell you that students go for practicing program, this one, they can reach or they can get, what most of them can get just only tranquil meditation or samatha kamathan. Even samatha kamathan or tranquil meditation also is the best for can be considered as the best for reaching to the enlightenment Buddhism. That's why I can frankly tell you once again that it depends on the individual. Thank you.
Any questions, most venerable Pramahasapun?
How about you, Rector Kabokasai, about this? I would like you to share your experience in the Western country.
Thank you very much for this question. It's a very complex one, very important one. Our experience is, I think, very similar to what we have just heard from MCU, Rector of Student Affairs, that the students have different individual needs, different individual paths,
yes,
while studying Buddhism. Some may be more interested in philosophical understanding, textual analysis, or maybe even comparative philosophy and religions. Some may be more interested in practice, in deepening their practice, whether attending not only classes at our university, but also joining various Buddhist communities. Besides studying at the college, they can also practice meditation every day, every evening, every morning, joining these Buddhist communities, or they can even go to longer retreats, 10 days retreats, Vipassana retreats, other types of retreats, or they can even travel abroad and join some Buddhist monasteries in the East, depending on their interest. And what we wanted to keep in mind all the time is kind of a middle way approach, a kind of a balanced view on the curriculum, so that our curriculum covers most perspectives on Buddhism, theoretical and practical, and covers all social aspects related to Buddhism in a Western European country. So we teach the context as well. We apply Hungarian tradition and culture in some of the classes. We apply the European context, the European history of philosophy and religions as well, in order to widen their horizon and in order to help them to apply their Buddhist understanding in this very particular concrete period, in this here and now in Hungary, in Europe, in living in a modern world. But what matters, I think, and that's my short answer to your question, is that we need to keep in mind all these aspects, the traditional forms of Buddhism, the traditional practices, as well as the modern applications, as well as the dialogues and conversations with other forms of thoughts and religions and even sciences. And the students can then choose according to their own individual interest. If this curriculum is wide enough, they will find their way through the 3 years of studies or through the 2 years of studies at the MA level or through their PhD programs. They will just simply need to be encouraged to follow their own inner quest for meaning and for, in the end, for finding meaning in their life and for embarking on the journey and on the path of enlightenment, because that's what our studies are about in the end.
Thank you, Professor Kapokasai. Now, Professor Dr. Ubali, Rector of Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, or SIBA, took leave because of his has important meeting at the Ministry of Education. So thank you very much to Professor Dr. Ubali. Now we would like to give opportunity to the representative of Buddhist College of Singapore, Chinese Taipei, SIBA, or any participant to give any question to distinguished speaker. First, representative of Buddhist of Singapore, Buddhist College of Singapore. Please, any question?
Yes, thank you very much, sir. I am Chandra from Buddhist College of Singapore. Yes, can you hear me?
Not no, not very clear, sir. Yes.
All right, because we are following the COVID protocol here, we are sitting in one classroom together with my students. We are here around 10 members altogether. So I'm using my mask. Maybe because of that, you may not hear properly. Yes, thank you very much for inviting us to connect today with you at this special moment of, your anniversary of 134th anniversary of MCU. Yes, we are happy to say that Singapore Buddhist College is also a part of MCU. And so today, at this moment, we are also participating actually as a part of MCU. So this is a great thing. Thank you very much for all the speakers, and we learned something from you. And of course, as an institute here, we are also following the, the style of MCU, and also our brother institutes in Hungary and Sri Lanka, and also Taiwan, or wherever. And your contribution is very important. And today we are very happy to hear from all of you. And yes, I hope that Professor Sedra is already left, right?
Yes, yes. He just took a leave.
Yeah. So then, actually, I do not have a special question, but I have a comment here regarding the scriptural studies. We know that studying scriptures, especially as Buddhist monks or as university students, is a very important thing. We know that there is a statement that, learning without practice is barren, and practice without learning is blind. Practice without learning is blind. So it is very important to, learn the scriptures, and we are following the teachings of the Buddha. So we must refer to the, the original teachings of the Buddha in whichever, the canon is a Pali canon or the Chinese canon or the Vajrayana canon or whatever. Learning, the scriptures is a very important thing. So we must learn, and also at the same time we must practice. So learning and practice should go together. So this is a very important thing. And so I greatly appreciate all the institutions, and you are, of course, focusing on the practice as well, while, exploring knowledge in the Tipitaka. So, yeah, again, I want to say that on behalf of our rector and the vice rector and the staff and the students of Singapore Buddhist College, so at this moment, I would like to congratulate and also send our greetings to MC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Venerables, a representative from Singapore Buddhist College. Venerables, Pra Maha Somboon, Professor Dr. Ubali just took a leave. You are the distinguished speaker now. In the morning session, the most venerable Prapom Bandit, the member of the Supreme Sangha Council of Thailand, the Vice President of University Council, he presented interdisciplinary study based on this study. So could you please, how can we apply interdisciplinary study based on Buddhist study for MCU or any Buddhist university?
Your question for me, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So now I am representative of Professor Upai already. Thank you so much. I think, as you know, according to the King Lama V, the founder of and the founder of MCU, right?
Yes. You guessed my question?
Yeah, I get.
Okay.
I would like to relate to the philosophy of establishment of MCU, right? He said that this university is established for monks and novices to study the Tipitaka, right? And the modern sciences. So from this statement by the King Lama V, we decide our university commitment, university philosophy, that to study Buddhism integrated with modern science for social and mental development. It is a MCU philosophy. So according to our philosophy, I think show our mission, that is to organize the scriptural study or learning and applying with modern science and also to develop social and mental, right? So I think even in the Buddha time, the Buddha not only teach the reality or the truth discovered by himself, but also he tried to apply the modern science at that time. I mean the modern science at that time. For example, the mathematics, Indian philosophy, and whatsoever science at that time to for the Buddhism propagation, for a Buddhist propagation. So I think the question is, how can we balance between textual study or scriptural study so that we can protect Buddhism, we can continue the Buddha teaching. So according to the Dhammapada, right? As you know, for monks and Buddhists altogether, we have two main duties, or tula in Pali. We have two main duties. The first duty is to study the Tipitaka, Kanta tula, right? Academic duty. And the second duty or tula is the Vipassana tula. Vipassana meditation duty. This is the two duty mentioned in the Buddhist text, like Dhammapada. So this is, I think, this is our mission as Buddhist monk and as a Buddhist in general, and lay Buddhist or monk Buddhist. We should perform or conduct or continue this duty so that we can benefit individual need, and we can respond the Buddhism needs. I mean the Buddhism need. I mean, can we organize Buddhist education? Right? Can we decide the curriculum so that we can continue Buddhism, the Buddha teaching, and we can respond the people need or individual need, so that they can live their lives happily, right? And Buddhism, the security of Buddhism also. So in design or in the make the curriculum regarding Buddhist study curriculum, we should answer the two main questions, right? That is to continue Buddhism, to propagate the Buddha teaching, and also to respond to people need life. How can they live their life happily? Right? How can they get happiness or attain enlightenment? It is my idea. So in conclusion, I think we should answer the question, how can we balance between the purpose of Buddhism and the purpose of the need of the people in the world today. And also we should learn the modern side, for example, information technology, right? Especially digital technology. I think if the Buddha alive now, today, he may suggest us suggest us to learn the modern technology. I think modern science and modern technology very important and required for studying Buddhism. Okay, this is my answer. Thank you so much.
Let me add the questions you have mentioned with the word what is that?
Interdisciplinary.
Disciplinary.
Yes, sir.
Interdisciplinary. From early morning, the most venerable Prabhu Pandit have mentioned interdisciplinary. He tried to focus with the word, which is called integration, integrate, buranakan. Usually, the King Rama V had established the Mahajula. It was intended to be the place to study the Tipitaka and higher education. We try to imply the word which is called higher education mean modern science. Mean modern science. Usually at our university right now, at the current situation, apart from Buddhist faculties, we also have another faculty, okay, such as education, humanities, and social science. We try to say that the higher education means the modern science from these following faculties. It doesn't matter whatsoever what you want to say, but the thing that we have to be aware, we have to understand means try to integrate the Buddhist study on Tipitaka with the modern science. That's why I mean the word interdisciplinary mentioned by the most venerable Prabhu Pandit this early morning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Venerable Pramahasambun. Venerable Pramahasambun achieved Buddhist study level 7 from his temple, Ministry of Education in Thailand, and he finished Master of Arts in Buddhist study from Thammasat University and Doctor of Philosophy in Buddhist study from MCU. Venerable Pramahasambun is a visiting professor in Hamburg University in Germany and also visiting professor at the market in Hungary. The director of the markets know him very well, right? And both of us, Venerable Pramahasambun and I, are the good student of the most Venerable Prateveti. Prateveti is our teacher, Pramahasambun and I. So now, any question from any participants in the conference room now? A representative from Chengchua University, Chinese Taipei, Buddhist International Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, SIBA, or any participant would like to give a question to distinguished speaker. Now we are going to end of this conference. Please, we have some time for your question, please. Mr. Avud Singhadet would like to give a question? No. Professor Dr. Konisi Thong, Assistant Lecturer for Academic Affairs of MCU, has any question?
No, I just argue. I think whenever Nopadon, he raised the hand. I think he would like to ask a question. I think.
Okay, Venerable Pramaha Nopadon from Chiang Mai Province would like to give a question. Any question? อาจารย์นพดล Venerable Pramahachamnan, could you please switch on microphone for participants? If any honorable participant would like to questions, honorable speaker, yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Could you please introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Sutipong Sivichai. I would like to know how to apply Tripitaka. There are 45 volumes. We can divide into 3 Pitaka, 1 Vinaya Pitaka, and 2 Sutanta Pitaka, and 3 Abhidhamma Pitaka in the curriculum. Because in the first one, that Vinaya Pitaka, there are 8 volumes, and Sutanta, there are 25 volumes. Abhidhamma Pitaka, there are 12 volumes. How to apply Tripitaka into curriculum, sir? Thank you very much, sir.
Actually, this question Professor Kasai presented in early, right? So could you please answer his question, Professor Kasai, please?
Thank you very much. Actually, I can stay here until the end. I made myself available, so I would also be glad to hear others' perspectives and views. I would just need to have a little summary of the question from the participant, if I may, because I couldn't hear it well. So can I get some repetition of the question?
Okay, his question is that how can we apply the Tipitaka 45 volumes study like that? Yes.
Yes, I was just texting one of the participants in the chat here. She asked the question, or he, I'm not sure, but the purpose, what is the purpose of study and practice? Is it to furthering academic life or spiritual? And I answered that the purpose of study and practice, both study and practice, is double in my view. They further both the academic and spiritual life. I think the two are deeply connected. So studying and practices are both about lifelong learning. So that comes back to the question, how can we apply all the volumes of the Pitaka? Of course, it's impossible to apply everything, but what matters is the aspiration, and that this aspiration is not temporary, that we have an aspiration only now and here or today and not tomorrow, but that we maintain our aspiration. So if I believe in accumulation of merits, accumulation of learning, meaning that if I continue studying, reading the Tipitaka and practicing meditation on a daily basis for long, over 40 years, 50 years, how long I live, we don't know. But as long as I continue doing that, this will bring beneficial results, auspicious results, both in terms of understanding, in terms of, let's say, academic learning, and in terms of spiritual accomplishment on the path to enlightenment. There is no quick fix, and there are no quick solutions to such matters. So, of course, we can't practice and apply everything, but if we aspire, we get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, and who knows, at one point we may achieve some great beneficial outcomes in the journey.
Thank you. Professor Dr. Sutipong, I know you are doing PhD in Tipitaka studies. You worry about your study. First, my humble suggestion you that you must pass your examination first and apply the Tipitaka for your studies. Thank you very much, Professor Kasai. Professor Prateveti would like to answer his question. You have some time for your answer.
According to me, now we have the faculty of what they call jurisprudence nitisat, jurisprudence already. We can apply or interrogate Vinaya of the Buddha teaching to jurisprudence of the faculty, the subject. Apart from that one, I agree with Dr. Kobakasai that it's impossible to apply everything to the subject we being taught at our university. Thank you.
Yes, now we have only 5 minutes. We have only 5 minutes. Unfortunately, we have a short time to get knowledge from distinguished speaker, Professor Kasai from Hungary, and also Professor Prateveti from MCU, and Dr. Ubari from Siva, Sri Lanka. So, my dear participant, your time participating in this conference very important for the organizing committee. We are very delighted to have your participant in this conference, and also distinguished speaker, the most venerable Prateveti, Deputy Director for Student Affairs, MCU, and Professor Kasai, for Director of Dhammaket Buddhist College in Hungary. So now may I respectfully invite most venerable Professor Prateveti to give Ovada speech for closing ceremony of the conference. Please, sir. You practice representative of the most venerable Pra Thamvachara Bandit, Director of MCU. Could you please, the most venerable sir?
With the topic we have mentioned today, MCU and Buddhist study, texture, apply, and engage in current situation. We have been discussing so far. I hope that all of you gain knowledge from the discussion, from this panel discussion today. And also, I'm quite sure that the texture, apply, and engage Buddhism in current situation of MCU have been run very well. Have been run very well. The key success leading to the process of this university, as I'm sure all of you that have been run very well. The key success leading to the process of this university arise from the following factors. I would like to share knowledge to you, all students participating in this program, this panel discussion. I can simply tell you the first one, why we are successful in running our university, in management in our university. I can ensure you that the first one, because of the administration of the university as a public university under the framework of the Act. The second one is the clear vision. The clear vision in the administration is also a very important factor. The third one, the availability of both budgetary and the personnel resource. We have the availability of both budgetary support by the Thai royal government, and also personal resource. We have enough our personal resource at our university who are able to speak English, as well as who are able to make clear about Buddhist study. And the fourth one, application of technology, as Ajahn Sombun had mentioned, is very important today. We apply the technology for our study at our university here. We can simply say the applications of technology with the administration with the administration of teaching and learning. We use technology to support our teaching and learning. Then the last one, I can say that the network building of Buddhists, both nationalities and internationalities. As I have mentioned earlier, that we have 6 affiliated institutions worldwide. Even today, we have the representative from Sri Lanka and from Hungary, Dr. Gabo Kasai. Both of these organizations also belong to our university, which is considered as an affiliated institute organization. That's why I'm quite sure that we are successful because of the following factor as I have mentioned. That's why today we come and celebrate 134 anniversary of our establishment since the King Rama V has established our university so far. Our university being considered one of the most ordered university in Thailand. I can simply say that it is the most oldest university in Thailand because it is being established since 1887. 1887 mean Buddhist era 2430 so far. That's why we are proud of our university. Most of you are welcome to come and study at our university. You can select, it depends on you. You may join Buddhist faculty or may join IBSC, International Buddhist Study College. We provide for you all who wish to come and join worldwide. That's why we are happy to tell you that our university have been successful so far for in terms of educational management. On behalf of the rector, Phra Tham Vachara Bandit, and Deputy Rector for Administration, Most Venerable Phra Thep Pawara Methi, I would like to thank you all once again for participating this program today for celebration of our 134th anniversary of our university. May the power of the Triple Gem blessing you all be successful in your life. Reach to Ayu Wana Sukha Phala, all of you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, sir. Could you please pay the Triple Gem, please?
Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Puttang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namassami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Saṅkhang Namami.
Thank you very much. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Venerable Moderator. Thank you so much, our friend from Dhammaket, Hungary, Rector Kabokasai. Thank you so much for your kindness. I hope after the COVID-19, we can go to visit you there to see your new meditation center.
Thank you. Yes, it's under refurbishment, and it's going to be really spacious and good for practice. So we are looking forward to seeing you again, seeing you all.